Hello, everyone. I'm Justin Ashby at Best Company. This is the Best Company podcast where we talk to business owners and marketing leaders about how they're building their reputation online and crafting an excellent customer service. Today, we have John Lenz at CB Solar. How's it going, John?
I'm doing great. How about yourself, Justin?
I'm doing great. Excited to talk to you. We're very interested in, what you can share and how you can kind of enlighten us on a couple different topics today. Real quick, John earned his MBA at Southern Illinois University. He's really on a mission to help empower those that he works with by helping them to take control of their financial future. John and I were talking just before this. It really is a passion of his. I think it's pretty interesting. He did financial services at Northwestern Mutual and State Farm, and then he made the switch to solar in 2020, and he really is trying to impact others by turning an otherwise unavoidable cost, being one's cost of power, into a means of financial savings and security. John has been in the industry for close to 2 years now, obviously starting in 2020, and now he's helped approximately 100 families make the switch to solar and take control of their future. Very cool, John. We're excited to talk to you today.
I'm excited to be here. Thanks.
Hey, let's kick things off with it. I think that financial, it's certainly financial freedom is that phrase is certainly not unique to the solar industry, but it is one that is very important. I've heard it come from a number of companies, and I'd just like to ask you just how you've been able to kind of position that phrase and how you're able to first convince people that solar power is really important, and then later we can kind of talk about how you've been able to position CB Solar specifically. But first, how do you use that to really be able to position solar as a good product for a family?
Yeah, great question. So, just in terms of how can solar really help a person or a family kind of take control of their finances? As of right now, anybody that's not that doesn't already have solar, they are renting their power. They're completely subject to the whims of the market prices. And what I mean by that is if utility rates want to double or triple tomorrow, no one's going to like it. But guess what? Everybody's going to pay it, right? Because the only other option is to not pay that, watch your lights go out, all the food in your fridge spoils. And let's face it, no one's going to, ever let that happen. So being subject to the whims of the market prices really does kind of take away from what truly you own and how much control you really have over your financial future. When you go solar, you really are just kind of taking, it's kind of a way of, owning your power. For the same reason that everybody here wants to own their house as opposed to rent, because the landlord can just change rent, almost whenever they want.
Yeah, understandable.
Going solar is a way to own your power and kind of take control of your financial future. And that's kind of how, that's why we're all about it here.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting because, on Best Company, we work with a number of industries. Some are, tax relief, debt relief, pest control, a lot of home services. And I can see how kind of that same approach of let me help you, kind of secure that financial freedom. It's a sense of comfort, I think, that's really interesting in that positioning. So my follow-up question, John, is obviously that's a great pitch for just about any solar company. And just as I said, we have a number of industries on Best Company, a number of companies. And I think when it comes down to having a customer in front of you, kind of having that opportunity to really position your reputation and build the trust, because you could be educating a customer, but if they don't trust CB Solar, that education might kind of fall on deaf ears, right? So how do you position CB Solar in that situation?
Gotcha, right. So it's a no-brainer to go solar. Why would I go with CB? It's kind of like the shorter version of that. And absolutely, you can go with, there's 13,000 different solar installers here in the country, which is insane. There's so many big box type of companies that are in, half of the country and things like that. And the logistics behind servicing the customer after they're already installed is just a nightmare in those situations. So CB Solar, on the other hand, we've been around for 9 years. We're one of Iowa's oldest running solar installers here. We could have branched out to several states across the country, but we chose to just have a laser focus here in Iowa, basically be on a first name basis with utilities, permitting, offices, everything like that. As far as, why would you want to go solar with CB? If you go with, we'll say, if you want to just kind of compare us to the larger big box guys out there, the logistics behind taking care of you as a customer become wildly complex at that point. With any sort of solar project, there's at least 25-year warranties. In our case, we have certain hardware that comes with 30-year warranties. So this is something that's going to be with you for many, many, many years. You want to be sure you commit to a company that you can feel confident that will actually be able to take care of you over the long run. It doesn't matter if somebody's cheap out the gate to get you fully installed. If your system's down 3 months out of the year and they're not around to be fast and help you get that back up and running, guess what? You're going to miss your savings projections by a mile there. So the question kind of becomes, who do I trust to go solar and service me over the long run? Do you want to go with big box, or do you want to go with CB Solar, who's located smack in the middle of the whole state and can service you with anything that comes up within a matter of a couple days?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that's a unique position that you're in, where you're right in the middle of the state and you're kind of offering that excellent service and everything. And it shows CB Solar's currently listed on Best Company, and they're getting reviews from their customers, and they're doing a great job building that reputation. What does that side of things mean to you, John, as far as getting those experiences documented from your customers, maybe being able to leverage those in, where you're not necessarily in a sales position, but just as you're building up your own company's reputation? What do those customer reviews mean to you, and how has your company used them?
I absolutely love seeing the reviews pour in. We kind of stumbled across Best Company just earlier this year, and we're kind of tapping into all of our customers that we've previously installed. And I mean, a couple of months of actually pushing them to leave reviews. I think we're at the better half of 100 reviews already, the vast majority of which are 5 stars. And what's really exciting to see is if you go to solar companies in the whole country, even though we're just Iowa only, we're in the top 10 on Best Company out of the thousands of solar companies you guys list. And it's really, really exciting for us, both me at the ground level here, I'm just the director of online sales, even the owners of CB Solar, we're all very, very excited to see that. Really kind of reassures us that what we're doing is right. This decision, this active, conscious decision to not try and compete with the big box guys in 47 different states in the country is really, really paying off. There's a lot to be said on something that's this expensive, this high cost, and this big of an investment. In a lot of cases, it takes a lot of trust from the customer to take that leap. So our decision to have this quality over quantity focus by just remaining in Iowa and having a laser focus on them is clearly paying off based on the reviews that are just pouring in for us.
Yeah, that's a great strategy. And one thing I would mention too is having joined Best Company a year ago or so, and you've been able to access kind of past customers, you really are securing that kind of financial freedom rhetoric, in that they've had your services for a while and they are experiencing kind of what you promised, as opposed to a situation, I think of e-commerce all the time, where you buy an iPhone case online and they ask you the second you purchase, hey, can you review your experience? And it's like, well, I haven't even gotten it yet. So I think that's really cool that you guys have been able to, build your reputation so quickly, so well, and you're getting those 5-star reviews, which really do differentiate your company and the customer experience you're offering. What, for everyone listening out there that is also trying to build their reputation, they understand the importance of user-generated content, which are those reviews, video testimonials, things like that they can get in front of customers. Have you faced any challenges kind of, really trying to leverage your customers in that way? How has that journey been, trying to build CB Solar's brand up over the years?
Yeah, so I guess challenges as far as making the brand known, that's become a bigger focus of ours recently, especially with the online world really taking a big old step into the spotlight. We're trying to step up our social media game. We're hopping on Best Company here as soon as we saw you guys. You guys have a great reputation for filtering out the bad apples here, so we really wanted to, if we're going to partner with anybody for any sort of marketing, we want to make sure it's quality. So that's where we kind of hopped on Best Company and a couple other things along the same lines. We are really trying to establish our brand here, and just kind of circling back to those reviews, I think we're doing a really good heck of a job of it. We are really establishing ourselves as far as a brand and how we're positioning ourselves in the market's mind as the go-to local company. You can go with your local corner grocer that you can have a nice little conversation with them as you check out, or you can go to Walmart and positioning ourselves as the former, again, is really just helping our brand really, really take off. Yeah,
that's awesome. What As far as crafting that customer experience, because obviously you've done a good job, massive indicator to see reviews coming in and the bulk of them being 5 stars. What's been some of the process that you've done, that you've implemented at your company to make sure that that customer experience is consistent, that it's high quality? Are there some processes? And I'm not asking you to give away any industry secrets here, but just help our viewers. We'll have people watching this from across a number of industries that it can be applied, and just as some best practices, what have you done at CB that has kind of resulted in a good customer experience?
Yeah, so I mean, as far as what we've been doing to really highlight and help customers commit to making the switch and also enjoying the process. I mean, I'm happy to kind of give away our secret because it's really not one that can be easily replicated. It's honestly finding the right people. We have,
okay.
This is not the first solar company I've worked at. I kind of assumed that in an industry as booming as this, it's very common to have kind of like higher turnover, things like that. But I came over to CB, and not counting the online sales team, because online sales is kind of a relatively new phenomena, the most junior member of the company has been with us since 2016. So we're able to find the right people that are very, very good at what they do, that can easily support the customer. And frankly, we just kind of treat them right. And I think recently there's been a really big spotlight put on the labor market for increasing wages and, making sure that they have a good place to work. But we were kind of ahead of the curve on that. I think we were very, very proactive. Really big tip of the hat to our 2 owners, Ben and Tyler, for doing that. So, for example, how are we kind of providing a good experience was, I think, part of your question. I'll give a really big shout out to our project manager, Mike, who's been with us since 2016. Find me another project manager that knows how to install solar. Find me another project manager that knows how to, run out to a site and can quickly, like if there's like a 5-minute fix, he's the guy for it. I think there's actually, speaking of that, if you go to our review page on Best Company, somebody left a good review for us, like, hey, something when you guys installed it, there was like a 5-minute fix needed. Rather than waiting days or weeks for your installers to be able to come back out, Mike, our project manager, stopped what he was doing and drove out to the guy's place and fixed it. Find me another project manager that will do that, and they just don't exist. You just don't make them like Mike. He's one in a million for sure. So, and also, I put a lot of spotlight on Mike because I can do everything I want as far as telling the customer that, yes, we have good hardware. This will, it's got good warranties. The savings are there and everything. It's in your best interest to go solar. All that goes out the window if they have a horrible experience, because it's a 3 to 4 month journey to get a project installed. Lot of working with the permitting office, lots of working with utilities and inspectors. No one in that picture is known for being easy to work with, right? So you got to have a good guy like Mike that can basically take charge on the customer's behalf and make sure that they have a good experience. So I'll give him a lot of credit for that. Yeah,
have a guy like Mike. I like that. That's good advice.
Have a guy like Mike.
Have a guy like Mike, yeah. Well, let me ask you this, John. You mentioned kind of, part of your social media strategy. You recognize Best Company, a number of other platforms. Obviously, it's important to have reputation, kind of have a reputation stack is actually what we talk a lot about at Best Company is building your reputation multiple places online, partnering with those groups. What has been CB's, that kind of social media strategy? Do you create a content calendar? Is it a specific type of content that you're trying to drive? Hopefully you're using a number of, the user-generated content, the reviews and things, but just walk us through a little bit of the strategy at CB Solar.
Yeah, so, to be very transparent, we're kind of, this push on social media for us is kind of a relatively new thing. Recently, at the start of, I can't remember exactly when it was, but we have Matthew Hazen, who is kind of leading the charge in our social media, valedictorian in graphic design from University of Iowa, so that just kind of circles back to the kind of people we attract and treat them right, make sure that they stay with us. So if you were to check out our social media, it's only really as of recently that we're able to really have consistent posts and everything. But what we're really trying to do is try and get as much engagement as possible out of our customers. We have some nice little promotions like, hey, you get a little gift card, most creative kind of comment type of thing. As we sell to our customers and, we all go out there and do their site visits and sit at the kitchen table a little bit and chit chat with them. We'll kind of get some pictures, post it online, and just try and spark a little bit of engagement and, just trying to help get our name out there for the world to see, or for the good people of Iowa to see, I should say.
Yeah. has that sparked, that's a great process you just walked me through, getting to, the dinner table, having discussions. Have you seen an uptick in referrals and kind of just creating this network of your customers, potentially referring other customers? And how has that process been for you?
Yes, that is definitely the goal behind social media, is try to get as much organic growth as possible, get as many customers reaching out to us instead of vice versa. It's more cost effective for us. It's better for the customer because it's something that they want. They are actively reaching out to us because we've already earned their trust a little bit in that way. So yeah, it's really sparked a good number of referrals, which is, we're very, very happy to see, of course. But also it more importantly shows that, our efforts of, branding ourselves as your corner grocer that you can have a little conversation with as you check out versus Walmart, how we're kind of repositioning ourselves in people's minds in that way is really, really paying off.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, that's something that, not to give too much away, but we're building in more referral functionality actually into Best Company as well. Mm-hmm. Excited kind of just because of so many discussions that I personally had with business owners and marketers. And I mean, just so much of building your reputation up is that it's so strong that your customers feel compelled to, share the brand, and you can really, put that into, implement that and put that into your plan. So, John, this has been awesome. It's been a treat to talk to you. I know a number of solar companies and many others. I think a lot of things that you shared can really be applied not just in the solar industry, but a number of service industries. A number where I like how you kind of laid it out, where the financial freedom is kind of part of that customer education, the importance of what solar can do for you, and then you kind of go into, CB Solar is going to do X, Y, and Z for you, and you talk a little about your reputation, past customer experience. It's a great kind of end-to-end process on really educating the customer and giving them the best product possible. So I think we were able to learn a lot. Anything else you'd like to share for people in your position that is trying to accomplish big things at the company that they're at, looking to make some adjustments, looking to really be successful? And any other kind of parting thoughts there?
Just know that, if you're trying to do something like this or, anything along the same lines where you're truly trying to do right by the customer, some days are going to be hard, but just never lose sight of the why. Always know that you are doing right by the people you're talking to. I mean, the fact that I'm in an industry and in a position that I can offer a product that can earn 7 to 10 or 12% return on investment, which basically beats the market at a fraction of the risk, the only risk being that you convert to an Amish-style lifestyle and stop using power. That's a very, very unique position to be in. I know objectively you'll never be able to convince me otherwise. I'm doing right by the customers I sell to, and I know that I'm selling on behalf of a company that will be able to take care of them for many, many years to come, which is why we have so many awesome reviews from people that we installed many, many years ago. I think the majority of our reviews are like, yeah, they installed this 5 years ago and it's working great so far still. That really, really speaks volumes to that, A, the product that I'm selling is right, and B, the company that I'm selling on behalf of is great as well. So just anyone who's trying to do something similar, just know that some days are going to be tough. You're going to get a lot of no's sometimes, but the ones that do give you the yes, you're doing the right thing for.
Yeah, John, I love that. Parting thought there, just the types of reviews can carry a lot of weight. I really do feel like for an industry like solar, getting a review of a customer from 5 years ago that says it's still working great, it's awesome, it's helping cut down those electricity bills, it really has given me financial freedom. Like, that's a massive review that should be front page in all of your kind of marketing efforts. And there's other industries that it's really all about that kind of service when a provider comes out and does something on your home. Maybe that moment is the focus. But really, I love hearing how a reviewer that their original experience came 5 years ago, but they're still able to kind of contribute to that. It's really, really cool, really important. So. Yeah, John, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate your time, and looking forward to seeing you guys continue to build your reputation on bestcompany.com.
Absolutely. I had a blast. Thanks for setting this all up here, Justin. I appreciate it.
Okay. Thanks, John. We'll see you.
Yep. See you later.